Whiplash. Sorry. Welcome to ClearTalk, everyone. Incoming taco. Um, wow, the way shit just flips and flips and flips, and um, I guess this is good news. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, we're kind of all in waiting at like I feel we've been for weeks now. Um, but anyway, not not at the fire pit, at the frontier. um, okay, so a few hours ago, Trump put up that he was putting a halt to tonight's attacks. In lieu of the fact that there was an imminent um, uh, agreement that was in the works. So all the big bombing and everything, hell, maybe when we talked about earlier, maybe this just was maybe this was a front. Maybe it was just a just a way of him to do one last little, boss man move that Iran agreed to, and just to ultimately come back and say, oh, well, yeah, they've agreed, and now we're going to have a signing. I don't know. But what we have here is a proclamation of agreement, or what was it? A ramp? Anyway, starts with an R. My mind went blank. I think. Anyways, an agreement that is apparently being signed by like everybody in the Middle East, in agreement here to further talks for an unknown period of time at this moment. So basically like an extended ceasefire, but an extended ceasefire that everybody signs on to and agrees to on paper, and that would open up the strait and get everything flowing again, except for the fact that Trump is still holding on to the argument that we will continue the blockade, even though from my understanding, though, in order to sign on to this agreement, Iran is asking for the naval blockade to be ended. So I mean, but from what I'm understanding is that, and seeing at this point, is that Trump is again tacoing as he normally does. He's doing the whiplash here effect, and that no matter what Trump says, and he says a lot of shit from one interview to the next within the same day, 2 or 3 times he flips the script, because he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing. And I mean, the question of the half seen now thing really needs to come into play here, or start coming into play a little stronger, I think. But from what it looks is that representatives from Iran and representatives from other mediators are basically stating that what the United States, the people that are actually doing the negotiating, whether it's Witkoff or the vice president or whoever is all in on the actual negotiations for the United States, that what they are signing to, it doesn't matter what Trump states, that whatever they are signing to is what the U.S. is actually agreeing to, and apparently that is very counter to what we continuously hear from Trump. And so Iran is kind of, and everybody else is kind of just letting Trump speak, and what they are focusing on is the actual things on paper. And that's the reason why they're so adamant about not actually having direct talks with the U.S. and having these mediator talks, so that everything is on paper. so that the United States can't come back later and say, oh no, we didn't agree to that, we did not agree to this, we did not agree to that, which has happened in the past. So that they can actually be like, no, here's the paperwork where you signed on to this agreement. And so, but that's what's being told by Trump. He announced that as early as this weekend, potentially Saturday or Sunday, maybe I guess Monday, that everybody could sign on to it. He said that he would not be present for that. That would be Vance that would be present for that, because his big birthday bash is this weekend, the UFC fight and all that BS, praising him, the big Trump charade that all those musicians canceled for and stuff. And he said he didn't need him. He didn't need him. The best man was going to be on stage. That was Trump. So yeah, that's basically what apparently the newest, at this point, update is. Again, anything that is said has to be taken with a grain of salt, and as the saying goes, and wait to see what actually happens. Because again, if they do not come to the agreement, if the United States does not come to the agreements of Iran that they have stipulated out and are a no moving from, meaning that they get instant access to funding, that is theirs, the money that is being held up, and the U.S. blockade, lifted, and the continued talks, they're not going to allow their enrichment percentage for civilian enrichment of nuclear material, which just like under the JCPOA. So, and if we don't agree to that, then they're not signing. It's as simple as that. So yes, it looks as though all of this threat, all of this attacks that we have instigated, possibly could have just been the big boss man front, so that he could act like he did something big and bad to make them come to the table and sign, although they were already going to sign as long as certain things were, again, agreed to by the United States. So I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Stay tuned. Again, this is a short one. I was just trying to give a quick update because things just rapidly happen from what I posted earlier, and which is what I did earlier in the video, talking about the potential for major, we're going to bomb the shit out of them. But this administration, this war crime regime, is proving more and more that they are just a lot of fucking talk. They're a lot of talk. I mean, the peak Seth, chest pumping and big man thing, and even Trump, acting like a mob boss. Well, it's just talk. They're just talk. And ultimately, they are quite literally maybe the biggest paper tiger government regime we have ever had. I don't even know. All it takes is a little pushback, and they cave. So, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm glad they can cave. I'm glad they're actually a bunch of chicken shits. When it actually comes down to it. But again, we're just going to see what happens. So stay tuned, as I think we all are, maybe more than ever, to what's actually going to happen. Because, I mean, again, we're all walking on pins and needles right now. Everybody globally is walking on pins and needles over this agreement. Because it, you know, again, it's extremely significant for something to happen to, you know, to give relief to the entire global economy at this point. So cross fingers and hope that Netanyahu doesn't get more involved again, even though he's already come out with a statement stating that even though, you know, in the whole entire list of people that are apparently agreeing to this and signing on to it, Israel was on that list. Netanyahu apparently is reporting, the reporting is that Netanyahu has put out a statement stating that Israel is not a non-party in this agreement. So again, now whether that is just Netanyahu trying to save face in Israel, I don't know. Or him just leaving the door open there that, yeah, we're not a part agreeing to this and we'll do whatever the fuck we want, regardless of what y'all agree to, which, you know, has been the Israel playbook. So, we're just got to see. So thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, peace. Clear Talk, I'm out.